right, welcome back into another episode of Indie B&B. Today we are joined by Carrie from the Bad Hats. Carrie, how are things up in Minneapolis right now?
They're pretty good. Thank you for asking. It snowed a lot last week. Somewhat unexpectedly, but never really unexpectedly because we always sort of get a final winter punch before spring. But now it's melted. So I do think spring is upon us.
All right, spring is upon us. Let's go. Getting out of the dark in the dark gray of wintertime up
That's
there. Well,
right.
you know, we've been listening to some of your tunes and loved what we heard and we're excited to dive into some of that. I guess the first question we always ask is, what drove you into this, profession? What's got you, making music and what inspired you to get in here?
Um, I guess I would say it's maybe like the cliche thing, but I do think it must be there must be something to it. But like I did grow up in like a fairly like musical household. Um, like my mom plays viola and she really wanted my sister and I to take music lessons. So I took like violin, took piano. But also like my parents were always like listening to music when I was young. We had like a 5 disc CD changer.
Yeah.
So we're always cycling through the hits like on the weekends. Um, so I was like really loved music, listening to it. And I really enjoyed, we like learned about poetry when I was in 4th grade, and really liked it. Like rhyming is just like so great. Like I feel like there's like an organizational aspect to it that like really makes sense to me. So I got into poetry and then I like was listening to certain artists like Michelle Branch and Avril Lavigne and was sort of like in like Alanis Morissette and was kind of like, oh, like I see how like we can merge the music and the poetry into something. So I like started writing songs when I was maybe um like 9 or 10 and learned guitar when I was like 13. And I just like really loved writing songs and it was pretty much only something I did like in my bedroom, like by myself. Um but it wasn't until I went to college in St. Paul, Minnesota, where I am, that I like met some like-minded uh musicians and like other people who was like, oh, cool, like you're writing songs too. And I met Chris. We found each other's music on MySpace.com because that's where you put music in
Right.
2009. We liked what we were hearing. And we thought we could like, bring our powers together to make some indie rock. So yeah, and then basically like I graduated in 2012 and there were like no jobs. So I just was like, well, this music thing is working out, so here we are.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I mean, you joined forces with Chris and the doldrums of 2012. Like
Yeah.
would you recognize in him as like a bandmate to be like, all right, like I think this is the person I want to start creating with? Like, what was it about him that was the perfect fit?
I honestly think like and maybe I didn't even know how to like articulate this at the time. But I like my real passion is like the like lyricism and like the melody writing, like kind of like the basic song, like what I refer to as like the open mic night version of a song. Um, but Chris was like really into recording and like he was all his like MySpace demos just had like really interesting like sounds. Like even if he was just using like a computer mic, it's just like, like blowing it up in a cool way or creating like like a rhythm track with like pens on the desk or something. Like he was already sort of like really tapping into like tones and like production. So in that way, especially we sort of like rounded each other out because I was less interested in the technology side. And he was less interested in the lyric side. And he was writing songs because he was like, well, I need to write songs, so I had something to produce. But I think like as soon as he met me, he's like, this is great. Like now I can just produce your songs and we'll be good to go. Um, but then also we just like had a similar like passion for music and a similar interest in like pursuing it further. And I think we like fuel each other in that way, which is it's just nice to have like a partner in this business.
Certainly, certainly. I
Yeah.
mean, having somebody to roll with you and ride with you, I
Yep.
think is definitely always important, especially when you can bounce ideas, and if you have somebody who's that kind of mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna be able, they're gonna give me a different perspective on what I'm
Yep.
thinking.
Totally.
So for you, I mean, like, I guess, you guys form this, would you call it a, project group? Like, are y'all, is he play live with you guys as well? Like, we've never had the pleasure. So what is,
Yeah. Yeah, when we first started, it was just the two of us. It's like always been the two of us. We're like have always been the like the band. Um and we just started recording a few songs um and I think that's like where my mind was because I had played like some open mic nights and done that and like recorded some songs like put on the internet, but I don't think I had like fully thought about like what it meant to be in a band. I was never in a band in high school or anything. Um, but I think Chris like had, like he watched this like Death Cab for Cutie documentary about like their touring that he was like obsessed with. And so I think he was really like, my dream is like to be a touring musician, where I was like, my dream is to be a songwriter. So I like don't even know that I really realized like what I was getting into. But we knew we wanted to play some shows because I think we just like knew like that's the way to spread the music. And then our friend Noah just one day on a whim just like bought a bass guitar from like the local guitar shop. Um and Chris and I were basically like, like how can we get this guy to play bass in our band? But he was very easily convinced, and so the three of us became the band. Um it's we're the original members for the first six years or so of the band. Um and I've always liked thinking of it as a band. We've had some members like come and go for various like personal reasons. Um, but it does. I do still continue to, even though it is Chris and I. I love playing with other people and bringing different musicians in and working with a producer and so I really like that collaboration. So I've always thought of it as a band, even though it is just the two of us now.
gotcha.
Um, so this is sort of a two-parter here. So
Okay.
one, 2015, y'all released y'all's first album.
Yep.
Um, so ironically, that was same year I graduated college,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was also the first year I had Spotify.
Okay. Yeah.
Y'all, if you weren't the first, y'all were like one of the first bands that like ever popped up on like a like Discover
Oh,
playlist,
crazy.
and I heard Midway and
Yeah.
fell in love with that
Oh,
song.
cool. Thank you.
So I was like, when Grant was like, "Yeah, we got Bad Hats on," I was like, "Dude, I've been listening to them for like 10 years, like
I love
crazy enough." But what kind of, what led to, obviously y'all been a band for 3 or 4 years at that point. What led
Yeah.
to pushing into it? All right, let's do a full length album.
Yeah. I think um I think that's what I always wanted to do. I don't know that I had fully understood the concept of an EP, but we were signed to like a small indie label, like very early on. We played a Battle of the Bands as our second show, and one of the judges ran this record label, and he signed us. And I think he suggested that we make an EP to start. So that was our It Hurts EP, just like it's cheaper. But like that went pretty well. So then it was like, okay, we're diving into the full length um, which I was excited about because that's like, I think that's sort of um, as a songwriter, just like having that sort of body of work is like really exciting. Um, but we kind of struggled with it because we had made the It Hurts EP just like in our apartment um, and that went well. But we were interested, so we wanted to do that again. But I think our ambitions had grown since then, and like what the sounds we wanted to produce and like the arrangements we wanted to make were sort of beyond our capacity to actually like do them in our tiny apartment. Um, but so thankfully we connected with our friend Brett Bullion, who produced the record for us and sort of took it to that place that we wanted it um, to go. Um, But yeah, I love a full length. I mean, I think a lot of bands release singles and EPs, and I think it's like a good way to like release music quickly and like also to have like nice little packages. But I've always been a fan of the full length. It feels good.
Yeah, I agree. I also am a fan of listening to albums in order,
Yeah.
uh, putting them on shuffle because I feel like artists put them in a specific order on purpose.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We do. We do put them in an order on purpose. But I will say I am also guilty of, I'm definitely like I love a playlist, I love a mix. So I'm certainly guilty of like focusing on singles from artists, but I always appreciate when people take the time to listen to the albums all the way through. Cause yeah, that's what we want.
You heard it here first, folks. Listen to it from 1 to 12 in
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. And then once you do that, then you can switch it up, do whatever you want. But at least once check it out, maybe in the order.
It'd be kind of tight if Spotify locked it where it was like, yo,
Yeah.
you can't listen to this on shuffle until you go 1 through 12 right in a row for 20 minutes.
Why
Uh,
not? Those are the rules.
yeah, sorry. Look, you want your free music. Well, look, you
And
gotta pay the toll, all right?
how you had to do it when it was on vinyl. I mean, you didn't have
Yep.
a
Yeah.
choice. I mean,
No, unless you can do some manual
yeah,
flipping, I guess, but it's a little trickier.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Well, you've seen a lot of, you mentioned that you started making music on MySpace. Like, what do you think about this digital transition that you've basically been making music through? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I had a MySpace, at one point, and that was it's funny. I associate songs with people's MySpace song, like people with
Mm,
MySpace
yeah.
songs.
Oh
So
yes,
every time I
totally.
hear the word "kiss kiss," I think about this one person specifically, and I'm
Yeah.
like it's crazy how MySpace was like this big music
Oh,
algorithm. But now it's
yeah,
totally different in
totally.
how we find things.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it is interesting to I don't think of myself as being very old, but I know that I am because I've like lived through like already like four like social media like moments in my band life. Like, yeah, it was MySpace when I started. I think SoundCloud was similarly kind of then I know people are still using SoundCloud, but I think at the time it was like SoundCloud and MySpace were like the places like to put your demos for random people to hear them. Um, and I guess maybe like YouTube. YouTube is also stuck around. Um, but yeah, but then when the band first started, like Facebook was the place, and it was like everyone was very concerned with like making their Facebook events like catchy and like cool, which is now like wild to like think about that we were spending that much time making Facebook events and getting like as many like likes as you could on the Facebook event. Um yeah, and then it was like then we're on all on Instagram and like doing the thing where everyone like they like wipe their feed or like get all the pictures to like match or whatever with like the big album art and like things like that. And then obviously like TikTok, like that's where we are. Um so yeah, I don't know. I think as they've come and gone, like I just think I do find it somewhat overwhelming when they all overlap. I can only really like keep a few social medias like in my head at once. It's hard for me to sort of cross the platforms. Um, but I also think like they are tools. Like they can be very overwhelming when you see because some people are like so good at them and it can be kind of stressful when someone's like doing a really good job with it and you're like, "Oh man, like I should be making a video like every single day or like like buying a really nice camera and like doing it, but like you could do that, but if it's not for you, like I think that's okay. Like I think that's where we need to be. It's like props to the people who are really good at using the tool. And like that's amazing. But I don't think it has to be like the end all be all because like I said, like I've seen we're already on like the fourth or fifth iteration of like the platform you have to master to like make it an industry. Like I don't know what there's going to be another thing like in 5 years, I'm sure. Um, and I hope people can use that to also become very famous, but I try not to let it like stress me out. I just like to use
Yeah.
it when I'm feeling good about it, having fun, because I like to make a funny video now and then. Um, but yeah, I don't think it's maybe healthy um to put all the eggs in one basket.
Yeah, at a certain point, you got to be a good band, and
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can you can post all the social media stuff you want, but if I show up to the show
Oh,
and you
so
aren't any good, we're up the creek. What are we doing?
Yeah, for sure. And it is tough because I do feel like it's the industry also like wants artists to be using it constantly. So like we're getting pressure from that end as well. Instead of pressure to be like, but like no one on the team is emailing me to be like, did you guys rehearse? Like, do you know how to play the songs? Like no one has ever emailed me that. But people are constantly emailing me to be like, did you post the whatever? It's like, and so in that way, it's like I think it is tough because artists are sort of getting that feedback from like many different sources. Um, but I don't want them to stop spending time on their art because that is really what's important.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of your art, I mean, we want to kind of spotlight one of your songs, and we did choose the single, of course, not
Right.
one of an album, but My Heart, Your Heart just came out, recently. So, we always
Yep.
like to kind of understand from your writing perspective how that came to be and,
Yep.
how to come from nothing to something.
Yeah. I honestly like that's a great question with like most art. Like it does kind of feel like where does it come from? It just appears. But this song is kind of interesting. It like went through phases. Like the chorus of My Heart Your Heart I actually wrote in 2018 when we were in the studio recording our second album Lightning Round. We just had like a lull in the recording and I was just like hanging out and Chris was playing a bass line and I was just humming over it and I was like, that's pretty good. So I took a little recording and I like tucked it away in my mind. I was like, I really like that. Like I hope I can make something with that and like tried for many years, but nothing happened. But then in like 2021, I was sitting on the couch where I write all my songs, playing, I started playing the like the guitar part that starts the song. And I always know I have something good when Chris he'll like come to the kitchen to get a snack or something. He'll lean out from behind the cabinet and be like, "What's that you're playing?" I'm like, "Ooh, I got a good one." He's interested. He's intrigued. So I knew that was cool. And then all of a sudden, like I realized that part could go into a chorus that fit the "My Heart, Your Heart" uh, line that I had written many years ago. And then I gave it to I basically because Chris was like he really liked it, so I taught him how to play it, and then he basically went off to our like little studio and made like the whole instrumental track, which is great. Love when that happens. Then I just show up and sing. Um, so yeah, so it came together really quickly, the demo at least, and then we decided to record it. We did like a batch of like 5 songs one winter um and we decided to include it because we all really liked it and then our friend Khan who played drums with us for many years and who we made the fourth album with, he put his drums on and helped us produce it, and so yeah, nothing to it.
I mean, it only took 2 or 3,
Yeah.
what was it, three
Yeah.
or 4 years or
Yeah,
5 years there.
sometimes you just gotta wait. It's just like a slow simmer for some songs.
I love that. I love that. You
Yeah.
got a bunch that are on the I'm picturing like a chef stove, and you got like a
Yeah.
bunch of pots of like pasta sauce, and you're just
Yeah.
kind of stirring some of them every now and then you end up making the pasta later.
Exactly. Because like literally, like I really do believe it's very frustrating when things aren't coming together and like and you can't like figure out like the verse or the chorus or something. But sometimes I really do just think like you have to like live more life and like hear more songs and like go to more shows to like hear the thing that's gonna inspire you to like finish a song. Um and it's annoying, but sometimes that's true.
Yeah. Well, speaking of shows, I mean, before you hopped on here, you mentioned that you were cataloging all of your
Yeah.
shows that you guys have ever played.
Yes.
So I guess I want to know what your takeaway was from that exercise, from all the data you've collected,
Yeah.
and what are some of your top two, things you noticed from that information.
Yes, I love a spreadsheet. I also love, as you said, cataloging. There's a map behind me with pins in every city we've ever played. If we've played a city 10 times, it gets the golden pin. But there's a band called Screaming Females who you may be familiar with, and they do this. They have like a thing on their website where you can look up any show that they've ever played. And I would love to do that eventually. I'm not there yet. I had to start with a spreadsheet. But I think first of all, I was kind of surprised by like the total number of shows we've played because we've been a band since 2012. I guess we didn't really start touring in earnest until 2015 when our first album came out. But we've been a touring band for almost 10 years at this point, minus some COVID years. And like when you're touring all the time like that, like I would have guessed that we'd played like thousands of shows. So I was like, I mean, like we've played everywhere, like play like 100 shows, 100 days out of the year, like we're on the road. Like I was like, for sure it's gonna be like 3,000, which maybe if I had done like any sort of like rough math, I would have known that that would be wrong. So that was surprising. We will hit on our next tour 700. It's coming. So that will be exciting.
Let's go.
But that's where we're at. We're like 690 something is where we're at total. So that's kind of cool. And then I was somewhat I think, well, I guess I don't know if I was too surprised, but it confirmed the dominance of the Midwest in our touring history. We do love being from the Midwest. We love doing a Midwest weekend. We've played so many shows in Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin, that's something I learned. I think we played more shows in Wisconsin than almost any other state. I bet Minnesota still beats it out, but it's given it a run for its money for sure.
All right. So we love some cheese curds and we
Yeah.
love some Golden Gophers hockey. Let's go. All
Yeah.
right. Now, of course, like we have to ask, we're from Atlanta. Have you played here?
Yes. Yes, we have. I do love
What are
Atlanta.
your venues here?
So where have we played? We played a few places in Atlanta. I mean, the Earl is a staple for us in our touring life. I think that was like one of the first venues we played where you couldn't smoke in the bar. So just the experience of like people smoking around you where you're eating like a really giant cheeseburger before playing a show, can't beat it. So we do love the Earl. I feel like the last few times we've been to Atlanta, we've played the Earl. I think before that, is there a place called like Isle
Aisle 5.
Yes, played there. That was I think the first place we played in Atlanta. And that was nice. Though it was kind of funny because it was like 18 plus, but like they put all the underage people like in a corral. They were like fenced off like in the middle of the venue, which is really funny because you're like looking out playing and you can just see them all like in their little fence.
Oh, the playpen.
Yeah, the playpen, exactly. Exactly. We played sort of a venue called like Vinyl.
Yep, Vinyl. It's right above, or it's in like the same area as like the center stage loft.
Okay.
There's like 3 venues in one right there. So
Gotcha.
the
Yeah, that
Vinyl
place
is
was yeah, that place was nice. I remember we played there with a person named Casey Harper who I really enjoyed. I think maybe local to Atlanta. That was nice. So yeah, we had great times in Atlanta. I really love Atlanta because I grew up in Birmingham. And so like when I was growing up there, like Atlanta was like the big city. So we'd drive up to Atlanta like for like birthday parties and like to go to like the big mall and like it was always very exciting. So yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, glad we made the board up there.
Yes,
That's
yes, you're on there for
that's
sure.
huge. That's huge. So
We have the gold there.
Yeah.
do,
You need the
do
gold.
we,
I think I'm trying you must be close, but we need like I bet we're at like 6 Atlanta shows. So we're getting there.
all right, we got 4
Yeah.
more. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, what for y'all's upcoming tour and is there an album imminent with
Yes.
you guys having a single out? So what's
Mhm.
coming up, and then we'll pop into Pete Peterson
Yeah.
after we get in there.
We have one more single coming. So that'll be exciting. One more taste of the record. But then the record is coming I can't keep forgetting that it's coming up soon. It'll be out April 12th. So it's like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's happening. And then we will be going on tour. We've announced like part one, we're saying, because it is our intention to basically play like the whole US, some Canada, going to Europe. But we have announced our like East Coast dates so far. So we'll be doing that starting in early May into June. But yes, definitely working to get our Southeast dates, our West Coast dates. So don't worry, we're coming.
All right. Bad Hats coming to a city near you.
That's right.
Let's go. All right.
If
Well,
you live in a city, then we will be there.
all right. Hey, we love it. We love it. And if you're in Wisconsin and Minnesota, they'll probably be there twice.
Twice. Yeah, that's true. That's fact.
Well, we'll transition in here to Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. Carrie, these will be this or that questions, mainly food based.
Okay.
And we'll look and see if you can conquer it here. So
Okay.
Pete Peterson's party pack of questions starts right now. Carrie from Bad Hats, cake or pie?
Pie.
She's pieing it. I like it. All right. Salad or soup?
That's tough, but I guess soup.
It's cold up there in Minnesota. We've got to have Minneapolis. We got to have some soup there.
It's true.
Sunrise or sunset? What do you have? What are you seeing more of these days?
Sunset. Yeah. I wanna be a sunrise person, but I'm not.
All right. Home run or a touchdown? What would you rather do?
I think a home run sounds pretty amazing. Just like the slow run around, people going crazy, seeing that ball go over, throwing the bat, something about it.
Go Twins.
Yeah, go Twinkies. Pimp the bat. There we go. Love it. All right. Night in or night out? What are you having more of?
Night in. I get my nights out when I'm working. That's when I'm at the rock shows. So in my free time, I like to stay in.
I like it. Well, when you do go out, when it's maybe not work and your jam comes on, are you more likely to hit the robot or the worm in the middle of the dance floor?
I guess I would have to say the robot because I am physically incapable of doing the worm. Probably not. I'm not in shape. So there you go.
Okay. All right. She's roboting it. I like it.
Yeah.
Guac or queso at your favorite Tex-Mex spot?
It's gotta be guac. It's gotta be.
She's guacking around. All right. Waffles or pancakes?
Oh, I think waffles.
All right. Well, next time you're here, of course, you need to head up the Waffle House.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure you've experienced it in your travels.
Absolutely.
Something to definitely look at. Coffee or tea with your waffles?
Coffee, please.
All right. All right. All right. Dogs or cats with your coffee?
Dogs. I gotta go dogs.
Okay. We need more dogs. We like it. Are you more like a ninja or a pirate?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I had never thought about that before. I guess I'm like great on the sea. I do enjoy it, but I don't love boating. So I guess in that way, a ninja. Yeah.
You will not see her on a rock boat tour anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, I would go if I was invited, I'd give it a go, but I just don't like the wind. That's what I really don't like. So I would say below deck.
Below deck, inside at the club.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Gatorade or Powerade? What do you like better?
Oh, Gatorade. For sure. I didn't appreciate though. I saw like some meme that was like anyone who calls Gatorade by like the actual names instead of just the colors is a narc. And that made me feel bad because I always call it by its name, not the color.
Oh, dang. Well, I might be a narc too. Dang. Toast or bagels?
Toast.
All right, she's toasting it up. I like it. Chips or pretzels?
Pretzels. I like a Snyder's nibbler in the evening.
All right. All right. All right. Fries or tots?
Fries.
All right. Okay. TV show or movie on your night in? What are you unwinding to?
TV show. I know it's a cliche now, but like there's truly something about like not I'm like I don't have time for a movie even though I'm gonna watch 4 hours of TV. It doesn't it's like the math is different.
I agree. I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. Are aliens real?
I don't know. Like I feel like there's like been some compelling evidence recently. Did you hear this thing about like the lights on the planet far away?
I did hear about this, and it's like a billion years away, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
Like
But they
it's
found
like
like it's like artificial light or something emanating from a distant planet. Like, what's that? What is that?
I don't know, but I hope they don't figure out how to get here because we're gonna
Yeah.
that'll be a real
We're not
real
ready.
dance.
We are not ready, but I'm intrigued. I'm
I
intrigued.
like it. I like it. Bigfoot.
Oh,
Is he
real?
is it real?
I don't know. That one I'm less convinced, but I could be convinced. Certainly, I'm open to it, but less convinced.
She's open to Bigfoot. I
Yeah,
like it. I like it. What about love at first sight? Is that real?
I think so. Yeah, I feel like I've heard many stories of that. I feel like
Okay.
yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Love at first sight. Let's go. Maybe we love at first sight with Bigfoot. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
Um, all right. Who are two bands? The final question, Pete Peterson's probably back questions. Two bands that we ought to check out that we might not know. Maybe two local
Mm,
Minneapolis bands. Maybe some people who are going to be, helping you guys out on tour.
absolutely.
Who are some folks that
Um,
we need to check out?
um, who do I think? There are just so many good ones. Um, like, um, an artist I really love, is my friend Rafaela. Um, she's so great. It's like great, pop music. Um, also, my friend Alana, um, performs with her name Party Nails. Also great pop music. Um, and one more for good measure is my friend Fiona Corman, who plays in DC. It's like wonderful, like sort of like I guess it leans uh folky, like acoustic. But yeah, she's a really amazing songwriter. Um, yeah, but that's like it's hard to only name three because there are so many great ones.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
get that a lot. We're like, heck, you're
yeah,
gonna constrain me to two or
yeah,
three, man. What are
yeah,
you doing?
yeah.
So we have Rafaela
Hmm.
Alana,
Yeah,
who is
so
party
party
nails.
nails, yes,
Party
party
nails.
nails would be what to
And
look up. Yes,
yeah, and then Fiona Corman.
yes, that's KOHRMAN. Yeah, Fiona, she's great.
All right. I'm in. I'm
Gotta
in.
check it out.
We'll be checking them out. We
Yeah, if
appreciate
you
it.
like
Well,
some pop music, if you like some folk music, some great songwriting, gotta check it out.
all right. And everyone else needs to check out the Bad Hats
Yeah, you do.
tour coming imminent here. East Coast dates have been announced.
Yep,
But the album is also coming up. It is
so
April
soon.
1 when we're recording this. April 12th will be the day. If this was released post April 12th, you need to go and
It's
check it out.
out.
If it's
Check it
released
out.
pre April 12th, get
And
up and look forward to it.
the last question of
Yeah.
IndieBnB today, with a name like Bad Hats, I mean, where did that come from?
It is a great question. Are you familiar with the Madeline children's books? It's like the yellow outfits and hats and like the nun, they're like in France.
Yes.
It's like they're like old books. But I read them a lot when I was young, and there's one book called Madeline and the Bad Hat. And in the books, the Bad Hat is like their neighbor who is like a troublemaker. He's sort of like a rotten kid, who's always like causing problems. But it's really just because he's like, he's lashing out because he like needs more love and attention in his life. I read those books when I was young. There's like a cartoon series based on it with like fun songs. So that's what it's based on. We always say we don't remember why we chose it, but that's what it's a reference to.
That's where it
There
comes
we go.
from.
Yeah,
We
there
love
you
it.
go. Hmm.
We love it. Well, Carrie, we really appreciate you taking the time tonight to get on our pod here, and you know, we were looking forward to that visit to Atlanta, and hey, you hit us up when you're here.
Amazing.
We'll get a beer, we'll get some tots, maybe some waffles. I don't know.
That
You know,
sounds great. Yeah,
it's a
you gotta let me
wild.
know like I love eating food on the road, so I need to know all the spots.
We will certainly be no shortage of suggestions from us.
Okay,
So
great. I love it. Yes, I do hope we're back soon. We do love Atlanta.
awesome. Awesome. Well, Carrie from the Bad Hats, thank you so much for coming on the pod tonight.
Yeah, thanks, y'all.